Okay, what's up, everybody? So today we are going to talk about WoW Classic Hardcore, and we're going to talk about the classes and what the easiest classes are going to be. And this is going to be a list that's going to specifically talk about the easiest classes to level and to get to 60 without dying, but also still be fun, so you don't gotta fucking take 6 years to do it. Because if we want to talk about what the best classes are in WoW Classic Hardcore, that is a very different discussion than what's the best class to level as, especially the easiest class to level as. So we're going to start out fast out of the gate. I've got 3 that I think are just goated for the easiest classes, and they're all the easiest for different reasons. And I'm going to tell you why they're the easiest different reasons. So number one is the Hunter. First of all, I like playing Hunter. I like Hunter. I like the class. It's a pet-focused class. Your pet can be absolutely batshit crazy high damage later on, and during it, it's just a good, fun class. You're really mobile. You've got disengage with feint. You've got a lot of kit with all of your skills, with poisoning, with melee damage, with your pet. You've got a lot of options, and the Hunter has access to all of them. The Hunter is a phenomenal class, and I personally think it's just a number one because of how useful and how much damage the pet does. It's just crazy. Like if you are new and you're wanting to play the game and you want to get in there and grind and go play along Fangsley and OnlyFans and whatnot, an Orc Hunter is just so easy. It's one of my characters that I love playing, so try it. Number 2, very close number 2, is a Mage. The Mage has the best kit in the game in terms of access to different spells. You get portal magic later on, so you can literally make gold by just charging people to make portals and send them through. The Frost Mage is all CC and slowing. It's just a phenomenal class. You are mana dependent, but you also can make your own water. Now, you don't have any class in combat heals, but you also have plenty of get out of jail free cards. You can get the fuck out of there. You start the game with Frost Armor, which is probably the best disengage passive like armor spell in the game. It is a phenomenal class with plenty of kit, plenty of ability, and the better you are, the better the class is. The Hunter, I'm going to say, like, it's kind of a plateau. Like, the Hunter's the Hunter. If your brain just works, you're going to do well. The Mage, if your brain works, you're gonna survive. But if you're good at the Mage, you're gonna thrive. So I love the Mage, but the Hunter having pets, I feel like, puts an edge over it. And then for the third in my S class is the Warlock. The Warlock is a fucking heavy hitter. They get pets just like the Hunter, but they summon them. You have to use soul shards to summon them later on. You get a void being that looks like a big goop, and he does fucking amazing at tanking. He tanks most of the game for you. The only thing you have to watch out for is you have to make health stones to have an in combat class heal, or just use like first aid and potions. It's not that bad, but it's not like the best. And a lot of people will forget to level, just like the Hunter. They'll forget to level like their defense and their melee. So then when an enemy gets up on you, you're just fucked. But other than the fact that they are very mana heavy on their spells, I think the Warlock's phenomenal. And then later on, you don't get portal magic, you get summoning magic. So you can summon people to you, which you can also use to make passive gold by standing in capitals and selling it to people. Now, that's my S class. Hunter, Mage, Warlock. Now for my A class, I'm going to say it's going to be Paladin, Rogue, Priest. That's my A's. Now, Paladin is not accessible on the Horde, not on Classic. So, if you want to play Paladin, you gotta be on the Alliance. Now, Rogue and Priest are available on anybody. So, Paladin, we'll talk about they have an amazing kit. They hit hard, they heal well, and they're tanky. They're not godsend perfect in any of them, but they're really good at all of them. So, like, it's like a better version of the Druid in terms of, like, versatility. The Druid's the jack of all trades, master of none. The Paladin is jack of three trades and pretty fucking good at all three. So the Paladin is an amazing class. The only downside to it is they're not the most mobile in Classic, and they are they're just kind of slow. And since you're melee, you can get in a lot of trouble that your self heals can't get you out of. And you've got a great kit, but it's not as good as the S class. But if you don't like the S classes that I pointed out, the Paladin is chef's kiss amazing. Now, the next one is Rogue. I think they look weird. There we go. The next one is Rogue, and the Rogue is phenomenal. The Rogue is fast, mobile, and just combo points to attack. They're a little bit harder to grasp than something like the Hunter, but they do phenomenal work, and you can get in and out of stuff by being invisible. It's really nice. Now, the downside to the Rogue is you don't get Vanish until level 22, which means you got to get to level 22 to get your full, just like, escape. Until then, you have to be out of combat to go invisible, which is a pain in the dick. And if you are having troubles with like hyper spawns or fast spawns or caves, it's going to be rough until you get that. But other than that, they have great CC capability, they have great AoE damage. They're a phenomenal class. It's just the lack of self heals and the lack of that disengage until you get Vanish is kind of a pain in the ass. So that's why they're not in the S category. They're just an A category. Other than that, they are fucking awesome. Now, the Priest, some people don't think they should be A class. I fucking do. The Disciplined Priest is brain dead easy. You fucking get like 5 passives to wand damage right off the bat, so you're just hitting like a truck by auto attacking. You have so many powerful spells you can self-cast on yourself, like Power World Shield, where you just don't take damage till a certain amount has been given, and then you aren't staggered off of your spells, so you can literally just fucking self-heal a bunch. There's so many great heals that this guy has for both the group and yourself and your passives that the Priest is just amazing. Now, they fall short in fact that if you go Shadow Priest, you don't have access to all of those. So it's a little iffy. And if you go Discipline or Holy, you don't do as much damage as Shadow Priest, and all 3 of those lack mobility as a whole. So there's a big AoE, buddy, you're going to eat it. That's all you got. So that sucks. But other than that, they are phenomenal. So like my S classes, they have pretty much all trifecta. They're mobile, they have a disengage, and they do damage. Because that's, for me, that's the 3 that I need for WoW Hardcore, is can you get around and avoid damage and or avoid things? Can you get out of trouble if too many mobs show up? Can I disengage and say, no, let's reset? And can I do the damage to burn things down before they either get to me or before they can run away and rat and roach out and grab shit? That's my trifecta for my classes. And A's either have all 3 and don't do great, or they're missing one a little bit. S's, they have all 3. Now the B's, I think they do well. And if you like these classes, they're fine, but they just don't do them amazing, and they're missing the get out of jail card. And that's the Shaman and the Druid. I think they're both great classes, but the Shaman I find harder because your totems can actually aggro shit. So like you can accidentally aggro a bunch of stuff fast, and they do great damage. Their Resto does good healing, but they all lack a full disengage, or as I call the get out of jail free card, where like mages have Frost Nova, hunters have Faint Death, rogues will have Vanish. The Warlock has their healing stones, and they have a bunch of stuns, and they have like they can heal by sucking the life force out of other things. Like all these guys have either stuns or stuff. Like the Shaman just doesn't really have that, and neither does the Druid. They don't have a long stun that I can use to get the fuck away. They don't have something that's fast, instant cast, and they don't have like a long cooldown of something that's just like, get me the fuck out of here. So that's my issue with that. Now, of course, the bright side is, like I said, the Shaman does heavy damage, both ranged and melee, and they have great heals coming from their Resto tree. And the Druid, they're the only class that can do all 4, which is ranged or melee damage, or healing, or tanking. They're great. It's a really cool quest line of becoming like your shape shiftings. Like it's all fun. It's awesome. But like it just, they spread it real thin to do everything, but not to do everything on one thing, if you get what I mean. But that's my B class, the Druid and the Shaman. Now for the C, and the only C, is the Warrior. The warrior is the worst class to level. It has little to no kit for most of the game. You have shit for self heals for a lot of it. You have shit for stuns for a lot of it. You have shit for get out of jail free and disengage for a lot of it. You have shit mobility for a lot. Like, the warrior is the, if I was to say what class is the most fulfilling to play, it's the warrior for sure. And in vanilla, when you play the warrior, it sucks for the first like 3 zones. But then once you're beyond like 30, fuck, it's fun. But before 30, fuck, it's not. If you have a group, and you have like a friend that's like, I love healing, you can play a warrior and have a blast. If you play a group and you have a friend that's like, I love tanking, and then another friend that says, I love healing, you can play a warrior and have a blast. If you have a friend that loves to be a mage and another one that loves to be a fucking rogue, you can be a warrior. Like, a warrior fits in really well with any group. But if you're going to solo self-found, or you're just going to solo it, you're not playing with a big group, and you're looking for a class, dude, a warrior is such a, like, dragging your dick through the dirt. It is sucks. It's fulfilling. You're gonna feel great at the end. You're gonna look awesome. And if you can fucking do a solo self-found warrior to 60, you're a bad bitch. But like, I'm not fucking doing it. That takes so fucking long. You gotta prep for so much. You gotta like get your cooking up so you just have a heal in between fights. It's a pain in the ass, especially if you compare it to like a hunter, where like you're mobile as fuck. You've got a pet. Everything is just handed to you. It's awesome. And then the warrior is just fucking nothing. But that's just how I feel about it. And of course, this is an opinionated list. Like, if you only love the warrior, or like if you are if you're a paladin and you're like, I only play pally, then your paladin's probably better than my rogue. Well, I guess they're in the same class. Than my warlock, I'll say, because the warlock is one of the ones where some people say it's not an S tier. Fuck that. It's definitely an S tier though. But like, just my own personal opinion, and I'm hoping it'll help people out if they are trying to peek into the world of World of Warcraft hardcore. But that's my list. I try to make it fast, try to make it concise. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Let me know if you like a certain class more, if you think that I snubbed the warrior or the shaman too much. Let me know in the comments. And as always, guys, love you so much. Thanks for checking out the videos. I'm going to be uploading more coming forward. Just had to take a break off of everything, switching jobs and whatnot. But I'll see you guys later. Love you so much. See ya.